My name is April Fellman, and I'll be reporting on a week's worth of weather observations for ATM 101, Alaska Weather and Climate. My observation site is located at my home in Delta Junction, Alaska, which is located in the interior of the state in the Tanana Valley. I began my observations on Friday, January 27th, 2012, and continued them until Wednesday, February 1st, 2012. The week started out extremely cold. You'll see negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit on your chart. That's because the thermometer will not go lower than this, so I cannot accurately report the exact temperature because negative 40 is as low as the thermometer would go. You can see that on Friday and Saturday the temperature did not rise above negative 40, and even on Sunday the minimum temperature was below negative 40. The maximum on Sunday was negative 34.7 on the left thermometer probe and negative 34.6 on the right thermometer probe. On Monday, the temperature increased. Our minimum temperature was negative 30.2, reported on both the right and left thermometer probes. And the maximum temperature was negative 12.7, reported on both the left and right thermometer probes. On Tuesday, again, the minimum temperatures were in the negative 30s at negative 30.9 on the left thermometer probe and negative 30.3 on the right thermometer probe. The maximum temperature on both probes was negative 13.2. The temperature continued to increase, and on Wednesday we actually reached positive numbers above zero. The maximum was 5 degrees on the left thermometer probe and 5.1 degrees on the right thermometer probe, with minimums at negative 19 degrees on the left thermometer probe and negative 18.8 on the right thermometer probe. So you can see throughout the week we had a significant increase in temperature, which I'm attributing to a warm front blowing in. The barometric pressure had instances of rise and decrease throughout the week. The highest barometric pressure we had was 971 millibars, and we ended the week with our lowest barometric pressure of the observation period at 960 millibars. We had our most significant decrease between Sunday and Monday from 969 millibars to 963 millibars, and our next decrease was actually the same. From Tuesday to Wednesday, we saw a decrease of 6 millibars. The greatest increase was from Monday to Tuesday. But generally, you can see that the barometric pressure decreased from the beginning of the observation period to the end, and I believe this is because we went from a cold front, as we saw those temperatures below negative 40, and we moved into a warm front, reaching temperatures above 0 degrees. The beginning of the observation period on Friday and Saturday, the skies were completely covered and there was ice fog everywhere. There was no wind at all. It was completely still. On Sunday, there was actually a little bit more visibility, and instead of the ice fog you could actually see alto cumulus clouds, but they still covered the entire sky. There was also a light wind on Sunday, about a Beaufort number of 2, because you could see that your breath and the smokestacks were drifting to the north because there was a light wind coming out of the southeast at about 220 degrees. On Monday we saw a great increase in wind with a Beaufort number of about 8, which is reaching gale speeds. Whole trees were in motion, and you could definitely feel resistance when you walked against the wind. The wind was coming from the east, and the skies were about 3/4 covered. You could see nimbostratus clouds to the northeast and west, with clearer skies in the south with a few scattered cirrus clouds. Tuesday was the only day during the observation period where there was any precipitation. There was just a light snow on Tuesday, and the skies were completely covered with nimbostratus clouds. There was not much wind. I would just say a very, very gentle breeze where you could feel it against your face slightly, and if you licked your finger, you could feel the wind. But When you blew out, your breath would only blow ever so slightly to the north, and it looked like that light breeze was coming from the south at about 210 degrees. But again, the breeze was very faint. On Wednesday, it was another gusty day with a Beaufort number of about 6, which was a pretty strong breeze. You could see that large tree branches were moving, and even the tops of the larger trees were moving. Your breath was blowing to the south, and the smokestacks were also blowing to the south. The wind was coming from the north at about 10 degrees. The sky was again about 3/4 covered with nimbostratus clouds. Like Monday, the clouds were located in the northeast and west, and the only clear skies were located in the south. And again, there were a few cirrus clouds located in the south. So throughout the week's observation, there was a variety of different weather. We started out very cold with temperatures below -40, and we ended our observation period with temperatures reaching above 0 degrees. There were days with no wind during the colder beginning days of the observation period, and we saw some pretty strong winds on the other days. So throughout this period, it was a good taste of some of the different weather that Alaska has to offer.